Let's go between C and F major while I.
You got it. Keep going.
Hey there, everybody. Welcome to Eugene and Dylan's Guitar Show. I'm Eugene Edwards over here, and that's Dr. Dylan Caligiuri.
Hey there. Hey.
Right over there. And today we're just going to do a little quick chat. Dylan came up with this was 5 great outlaw guitar, outlaw country songs, but with a focus on the guitar and what makes the genre what it is. But before we get to that, do you have any guitar tales, music tales from the last time we sat on this couch?
Oh, what did we do last time? The grunt. We did the Pearl Jam 10
we did
album.
Pearl Jam, yeah.
Which was enjoyed, by the way. That was a good one.
That was a good one.
Thanks for showing up to that, guys.
How many units did that thing sell? Did you say that album?
Oh, some astronomical
so
number.
the odds of people being familiar with what our subject was
quite
wicked
good,
high,
especially
exactly.
So while I do have the stage, make sure you guys like the video and make sure you're subscribed. It'll help us out while we try to tame the algorithm and all.
That's right. There's a little kind of like they're not demons, but they're little energy forces.
They're demons
that count.
Yeah.
The analytics of all these things, like who likes, who subscribes, and stuff. And based on that, some people wake up with small pots of gold under their
or
pillow.
Smallpox. Those are the
or
real,
smallpox
those are
too.
The
That's
two
if you don't
polar
have enough
ends of it.
subscribers, and so you don't want that to happen here.
Yeah.
Now I had last week my daughter.
Sure.
She's 18.
18.
And she just turned 18, and
it's a fun age.
She's great. She's
great.
I mean, and she was she had
nothing hurts. Nothing.
No.
Yeah.
Was watching Waiting for Guffman and Best in Show, the Christopher Guest documentary show. And then her mom, while we're talking about it, we realized that she had never seen
the Spinal Tap. Lay Spinal Tap.
Did we talk about this?
Yeah. No. Well, I mean, you were going to go see it.
Oh, okay. So yeah. Thank you for catching me up there. So sorry for And then, sure enough, it was playing at our neighborhood theater, was screening the original Spinal Tap, which I had never seen in a theater before.
Right. Yeah.
So I was excited as well. So my daughter and I, we went down there. We got the movie or watched the movie, and laugh out loud. Movie still kills. She thought everything was very, very funny. Now I explained to her how when this movie first came out, it did do that well because a lot of people didn't know. They didn't fully understand that was all fake.
A dry humor. Yes.
Correct. And and then there's a little record store, a vinyl record store that's on the same block as the theater, and they wisely stayed open late. Right, so the movie gets out.
The movie was playing.
So we go into this great little shop, and we go straight to the heavy metal section, and that was jarring.
Judas Priest.
Jarring because I said, okay, so I'm pointing at these album covers, like these are real album covers. These are real album covers from 1982 and 83. First one was the Quiet Riot one.
Oh yeah,
where these guys strapped.
Wasn't
down
that
the table.
awesome?
Well, I said, where he's the guy, he's strapped to the table and the belts and stuff. I said, see, because he's the victim.
Yes,
which is the line from the movie. Which I was here and just one heavy metal album cover from the 80s. And she goes,
Dio, where you have an apocalyptic scene.
The Scorpions one with
that was enough for your parents to take those away from my experience. They'd be like, okay, this one's gone. This one's gone. I'm like, what do you know? It's irony.
Well,
it's all irony.
To the kids, it was basically it books. It wasn't like anyway.
Damn Tipper Gore.
But it was a don't play. She didn't design the album covers.
Yeah, but it's a lot of money. She cost me a lot of money in those replacement albums, Tipper.
Replacing all those heavy metal records. That's funny. So anyway, so we had a great time with that. So to the Outlaw Country now, I want to say hello to. We've got Dave, we got Jim, we've got a Darren, and I was reading them until you moved it. That was awesome. And then we got John and Henry, and I think it'd be cool if we had John Henry himself.
Yeah, if John Henry came.
And Tom over there in southwestern Colorado. I'll give anybody $1,000 to get this. Stand.
Well, it's Cialis is actually what you want. Here, let me. You do your thing.
No, you stay there.
Yeah, you got it.
Yeah, just start talking out.
Well, what happened? What did you?
I don't know.
Okay.
It's just I'm gonna shorten that.
Now, see this thing. This is probably built on a Friday, is what I'm thinking.
Oh, it's so
and so
funny. Somebody just left. Oh, hopefully, look, that's gonna have to do for now.
Okay.
What? Can they hear me?
Yeah. Well, they can hear you, but I mean, look at this thing. What? It insists upon itself. It's just laying there on you.
It's fine.
Okay.
So, Outlaw Country. What are we talking about here? Now, again, this is one of those musical idiom terms with like who that smell the glove exactly.
I want to say love pump, but I don't want to say.
Yeah, she thought that was very, very funny.
Oh, well, it is very funny.
So these people just can't help themselves. Is what she said.
No, it's like so good.
In general, a couple of artists, namely Willie Nelson and Waylon Jennings, these are kind of the two main guys who had proper record deals with Nashville labels in the 60s. And Nashville just had a very certain regimented way of doing what they do. And one of them was, there was an A&R guy that pretty much helped assemble the material that you were going to record for your album. They had the studio musicians, fantastic musicians.
Yeah.
Already booked to play on your records. God, I don't know. They had their own photographers to choose the album artwork and yada yada. It was a bit of a system, a very successful system that sold many records and made many great records. In fact, I would even say I really like the Waylon Jennings records that he was making in the late 60s and the early 70s under this Nashville regime. I mean, they're just great sounding records, and he's such a great singer. However, Waylon himself felt stifled. He would go on the road with his band, the Wailers, and they were playing in clubs, and they were playing different material.
Yeah.
They were playing the material differently.
Yeah, right.
And they had their own sound, and
it's more organic. I'm coming over to fix that.
Okay, fine. Yeah. It was closer to like the original honky tonk stuff, and it wasn't very, very glossy. It was more raw, and definitely definitely referred to just raw blues in that honky tonk way than what Nashville was doing, which has always been a little more jazz affiliated. Wow. And and by the way, next week I'm starting ventriloquism just to add into Rex and I've got a thing we're working up. So, and Willie Nelson, the same thing with Willie, in fact, but Willie's records weren't really selling all that well. And so Willie quits the whole thing and moves to Austin and grows out his hair, all that. Waylon really is the one who really looks the label in the eye in a staring contest. Yeah. And ultimately wins. He and Willie around the same time get to make records wherever they want and however they want. And that's really kind of the beginning of the Outlaw movement. It was more of a business, artistic independence thing. Meanwhile, go ahead.
A reach for authenticism as well.
Maybe. I'm not sure. Well, yes, to them. Waylon wanted to make music that was more authentic to what he wanted to make.
And to the bar, to playing at a bar, to playing with a four-piece.
This is, and now, but there were guys like Tom Paul Glazier, and there were other songwriters, especially Jerry Jeff Walker and Ray Riley Hubbard. There were certain songwriters, Chris Christopherson. There were these people who revered country music, these younger songwriters, but they weren't writing to the charts, if you will. They weren't writing this really polite music that Nashville would have preferred.
Right.
And so it's also in the songwriting that's kind of bubbling up in the air. So anyway, the term outlaw country, there's a woman, I can't remember her name right now.
Jessica, no.
No. She worked
Hilda?
She worked at at one of the studios. She was kind of a secretary. She kind of ran the whole thing, really. I think someone asked her about the studio, and this studio I think was in Muscle Shoals, in fact. So we're not in Nashville, but just said, "What Hazel something? Said, what kind of music you guys making in there?" And she just said outlaw. It just kind of came out.
Is it outlaw country?
She just said how they're missing making outlaw music because these were artists that were making things kind of outside of the normal label
Also,
system.
they were a little edgy.
Some of them were living. Some of them were living. Yeah,
You know,
they were
you
living
could
by
say that.
But here's the other thing: at least if they did, they didn't have to cover it up as much. The way in Nashville, that all had to be don't talk about it. Don't. And you could just look in these men's eyes at these very dilated eyes.
Yes, the eyes were the window to the deal. No. So many, you can make memes out of that mic fix. There you go.
So guitar-wise, one of the things. So no, these are in no particular order. Well, actually, maybe you should go. We'll go a bit chronologically. There were certain methods of playing. There were certain tones, yes, and there were certain rhythms that the outlaw country artists were using that Nashville wasn't quite into yet. And one of them was just this old-fashioned boom chick sort of thing, like Are You Sure Hank Done It This Way by Waylon Jennings, which is kind of what we were grooving on at the beginning. It was just this really hard boom don't don't. It's almost disco-y in this really like halftime feel. But the original boom chick, if you will, comes from Luther Perkins playing on Johnny Cash's early hits. And I'm just going to come up with I Walk the Line. I'll just put that one in the list here or something.
I love it.
Because this is such an unusual song in a way. It takes advantage of Johnny's extraordinary low range because each verse moves up a fourth.
Right.
And then they move back down.
Right.
And get back to the original key. So, and of course, it's Luther Perkins with that beautifully muted kind of telly tone.
It was really a brand. You know what I mean?
This kind of muted boom chick. Da 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 boom chick. Boom chick, boom chick, boom chick, boom chick, boom chick. If you cut this in half, very outlaw. So that's kind of where the boom. So I put I Walk the Line as kind of an example of like the original boom chick stuff that got kind of cut in half and exaggerated that kind of help inform. Like if one were to write a classic outlaw country song, we might write in that kind of half
and that
time boom
I mean
chick
that
thing.
Guitar playing was a brand of Johnny Cash.
Very much so.
And it was consistent across that whole time period with him.
Yeah, I mean, that was. I mean, when the Tennessee Two, as they call themselves, came up with that. Well, they were, the story about those guys with Johnny Cash, and it was like a quartet.
I don't know from the Dewey Cox story. You'll have to tell me.
That's right.
Yeah.
So they were. There was four of them.
Uh-huh.
It was Johnny. It was Luther on electric guitar. It was the bass player, and there was a lap steel player. Mm-hmm. And they went to audition for Sam Phillips at Sun Records.
Oh, right.
And on the day the lap steel player just. I'm not doing this. I'm not good enough. I'm nervous. He's like, I'm going home. So now there's just three of them. So that's why it's Johnny Cash and the Tennessee Two. That was three.
Right.
But these guys were, and they would have told you at the time, like, we're really only playing how we know how to play.
Right.
Luther wasn't really that experienced across the fretboard.
Yeah, but it was already marketable and already
made
recordable.
The thing.
Yeah.
I think Sam Phillips even was like, well, I know you boys can't play.
Right.
But if you guys can come back with a sound that I've never heard before,
sure,
we'll talk.
Right.
They came back with a sound you've never heard before. Right. Who rises to the moment that well?
And think about sometimes those type of bumper guards or those limitations, those boundaries on somebody makes them an artist in a way.
Oh, of course.
Yeah.
Yeah. Look, I can only do it this way.
Yeah.
Yes, I suppose it's a choice, but also it can only do it this way.
And I don't know about you, but like if you meet some really famous artists who have incredible careers, they don't think they are God's gift to their instrument or craft necessarily.
No, because they know what they can't do.
They know what they can't do.
Yeah.
It's a really interesting phenomenon.
So another one, and so when Dylan came up with this idea last week, and I was asking friends around town, I was like, we're going to do a good outlaw country, guitar song. A lot of my friends said, "Oh, well, Mama Tried" by Merle Haggard.
Yeah.
So that's our second one. Now, no, but it's odd because to me, I don't think of this as outlaw country at all. First of all, Merle was happily on Capitol Records. He wasn't making his records outside the system, although he was in Los Angeles, so he got to use his road band and a mix of studio musicians in his road band. So in that sense, he kind of had his own license. But certainly lyrically, it's such a beautiful song where like, look, I have a deviant life, but don't Don't Blame My
Don't
Mom,
blame my mom.
or where I'm from. It's
She
not.
tried.
Yeah, I did this. So this is, and what's funny about this is, I know Jerry Reed is on this track, and so is Roy Nichols. I think Jerry Reed is playing the nylon string guitar that we hear in the intro in the key of. Do we hear this? It's really beautiful, diatonic, rolling, very comforting little, lovely sound. And then here comes the errant son, represented, in my opinion, I know I've talked about this before, but by Roy Nichols' Telecaster. He comes with this glorious. So that is such a remarkable use of scale tones to me. It really kind of like, you don't see it coming. So what he's doing is it's a pre-bend at the 12th fret on the high E, coming from F sharp down to E natural, then a C natural, strumming a D major chord. So this is what we're putting over that D major chord. So it forms a big ninth voicing, really. But to get to that, the fact that he does a pre-bend down, very pedal steelish, then does the same thing but an octave lower, then power chord. Now here's what's cool. Roy Nichols is gone. No more electric guitar until the solo.
Oh, right.
So everything's just back to its normal domesticated roles, right? And then the guitar solo, again, if you're looking for how to write a guitar solo, what Roy Nichols does, he takes the intro and works from there. So he comes in to the 4, back to the 1, 5, 1. So what he does, he plays the intro, then over the 4 chord, but go back to the 1 chord, he basically plays a flat 3 and a flat 5. Yeah. 5. Back to the 1.
Do that last lick really fast. So it's a blues scale, basically.
Complete blues scale over the major chord. So this is kind of like, like this, the Wayward Son comes home and just throws the Thanksgiving turkey into the drapes.
Yeah. And he's playing blues over your Pretty Country song, by the way.
And that's the point. That's gonna he has to sully this thing up. And then great arrangement. You end the song with the intro.
That sounds like a studio crafted song to me in a lot of senses. You know what I mean? Like as far as the way it's.
Oh, well, there's beautiful harmonies.
Yeah.
It's not a jam. This is a very tightly constructed piece of music.
Right.
But it has a very, very iconoclastic guitar on it.
Yeah.
And the subject matter kind of follows this outlaw motif, if you will. Hello from Grand Island, Nebraska.
Hey, Greg, how you doing?
And how many islands do you think there are in Nebraska?
Well, we know where the Grand one is, though.
Well, it's got to be Grand.
It's not actually an island. I think it's a city, right?
Oh.
Or no, it's just a...
Greg?
It's a
Can you
landlocked-
explain?
Yeah. Your mic sounds amazing right now.
And by the way,
It's beautiful.
Greg, have I been to Grand Island, Nebraska? I may have been there.
I think he was saying you're coming there.
Oh, am I?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay, cool. What? That'll be
Nearby.
Oh, that'd be grand.
Yeah. I know.
As an island.
Yeah.
So and then the third one I'm thinking of is, well, and I've already referred to it, is and again I tried not to repeat any artists in the list of 5.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But Waylon Jennings, and I was just thinking of Are You Sure Hank Done It This Way, which is and mainly because that's an example of the halftime dun, 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 dun. I mean, Merle Haggard's Rambling Fever uses the same beat. We hear that a lot. But what's cool about this song, first of all, it's a great example of Waylon using his phaser pedal, which I've got the Fender Lost Highway phaser that we pulled out of a box of just, Dylan has boxes of pedals here.
Boxes of pedals, y'all.
And so we dialed this up. So the idea, explain what a phaser pedal does in guitar, which is not exactly the same thing as
So imagine
with microphones that you were talking about last week.
Imagine you take like a iris-looking flashlight.
An iris.
So the iris of a cat's eye.
Flashlight, everyone.
And that spans across the entire frequency span. So if this is that entire frequency, it's going to go, but it's only highlighting that area of the frequency span.
Okay.
So it's phasing through that area, and that sound is mixed in with your regular guitar sound, and it makes this
Sweeping sound.
sweeping. Yeah. That's it.
We're hearing this.
So the distance that it phases,
Yeah.
or sweeps,
Yeah.
if you want to think about it that way, is an element. The speed within that distance, and then the shape of that
Gotcha.
flashlight.
So Waylon kind of just throws this in the 70s as just kind of a cool, just as a cool sound. Phasers on stun, everyone, says Jim K. And what's interesting about this song,
This is a bizarre thing to do in a
that?
country song prior to this, for the most part.
well, I mean, were phaser pedals? Where were we hearing them up until this time anyway?
Not a lot.
Not
Much.
It's not like one genre really owned it,
And they weren't.
necessarily.
You couldn't get one at True Value. You had to
No.
you had to go to out of the Sears catalog.
By the way, not to plug. I mean, we're not with the mothership right now, but Fender did recently come out with, and they worked with Shooter, Waylon's son.
Yeah.
A phaser pedal dedicated to Waylon. So it's got
we'll have
it
to
has
check
his,
that
it has
out.
his logo. It's a
We should
really
see
good.
if we can get
By the
one.
way,
Yeah.
smaller than this.
Oh, so I love small.
Yeah, small.
I love small.
What's really cool. So the idea here is that they were just really just copying the schematic of the unit that Waylon had been using for. By the way, Waylon also used chorus, and he used an early Boss, the CE1 compression pedal. But the phaser is kind of the one it's really significant in terms of the Outlaw thing. Is the early effects that he used, but the one that Fender just came out with, it was Shooter's idea too. He's like, well, it's kind of a waste to just make a pedal that only has what my dad could do.
Yeah,
let's put on other stuff so people can create their own thing.
Right.
So it is very vintage, but you can actually push it a little beyond and get creative with it. Which
I haven't seen this yet.
Oh, it's beautiful. It's a little black pedal. It's got the W with the white wings. It's gorgeous.
Yeah.
So and in Hank, are you sure Hank done it this way? Lyrically, Waylon it's like 1974, and he's just kind of asking the industry basically. It's like, what, just kind of like same old rhinestone stoots. Like we've been doing it the same way for kind of too long. Let's do something a little different. And sure enough, in this song, it just goes from the 1 chord to the 4 chord over and over again. It never goes to the 5. There's no third chord. So it kind of, March 27th, Eugene me, Gene, I'll be in Grand Island, Nebraska, playing with ZZ Top. I'd like to say hello. Okay, sure, Greg. I'll see you wherever I am. I'll be somewhere.
So they must have a good venue then.
I hope so. Yeah. Good. So in it, one of the guitar, you hear Waylon's Telecaster going through a phaser pedal, and it's just this really nice thickening element in the thing.
Yeah, and that's thick, by the way. To have a phaser on a guitar that strong is discernible.
It's just kind of cool.
Yeah.
And as a picker, Waylon is a really good guitar player, but he would stick with the basics. Really kind of is a really good hybrid picker, but like on Good Hearted Woman, which starts in D major and is mostly acoustic until it modulates up to E major. A good-hearted woman in love with a good-hearted man. A lot of this. A lot of just old rockabilly moves there.
Yeah.
Just really, again, just very, very, just basic. But what's a better word than basic?
Fundamental.
More of the fundamentals of at that time what you'd call honky tonk and classic country music.
Sure.
So it's kind of gave it this cool vibe. Thoughts so far, sir?
Well, it's funny because each one of these songs has mostly something to say about country to country.
I was going to say outlaw country music, not as much as reggae. And honky tonk music, but it does talk about it quite a bit.
Right, exactly.
And that kind of became
it's almost in the third person the whole time, or whatever.
Yeah. Well, and then you had a song like "Redneck Mother," which was Ray Wiley Hubbard, great Texas songwriter, wrote that. Jerry Jeff Walker's version is maybe a little more famous, but that's a really funny song. It's really tongue in cheek. It plays against conservative hippie assumptions, but it's hilarious. The Ray Wiley Hubbard version is my favorite. Now, it has a mandolin, dobro, and pedal steel solo. There's no guitar solo.
It's because
so it didn't qualify.
There's a Merle Haggard version of that too, right?
Did he? No, you're thinking of Okie from Muskogee.
Oh yeah,
which is basically, I think Ray Wiley Hubbard was writing an answer.
Right.
First of all, Merle's writing Okie from Muskogee tongue in cheek the whole time.
Right.
And then Ray Wiley Hubbard says, "I'll raise
doing
you
it for realsies,
another
though.
tongue in cheek. I'll go the
right.
Yeah. So, so another song. No, of course, Outlaw Country. We mentioned Willie Nelson. We have to mention Willie Nelson, and I'm choosing from something from his Shotgun Willie album, which I just picked up a reissue on vinyl. That sounds fantastic. This album was actually recorded in New York City.
Yeah.
With parts of Willie's band, parts of New York session guys. I think Donny Hathaway arranges strings and horns and plays piano on it. So
Wow.
yeah, it's an interesting mix. But the song Whiskey River, which Willie, I think, has done at every concert. I mean, it's just that and a couple of songs that he never fails to do. And Whiskey River is definitely one of them. And on the album version, it's interesting though, because the groove, it's really swampy. Like it's not the very, very strict
Right.
It's I mean, it's just very
got swing in it.
soul.
Yeah.
It's just very laid back and funky. And the groove actually straightens up for the verse. Ding, ding. It goes straight. There's a regular two-step, and then for the chorus, goes back to this swampy thing. And so again, Nashville probably wasn't going to let you change grooves halfway through a song.
Everything
and
was
go back and forth.
formulaic at that point.
Yeah.
They didn't.
So
yeah.
now, but famous at this point, guitar-wise, what's significant about that, and I don't have one here, but we hear Willie's nylon string Martin trigger on this song, and he's just going to play straight up minor pentatonic blues on it, which is very, very much a sound we've not really heard up until then.
Right.
Of course, he's very, very influenced by Django Reinhardt, but Django didn't play minor pentatonic blues.
Well, I mean,
it's there, but
not a quote in that sense.
Exactly.
No.
So Whiskey River, it's in G.
Silver wings.
No, what? We're just doing different songs.
Oh. Yeah.
Of course.
It's a mandatory one. Yeah.
I'll get. That's a gorgeous song.
It is.
That's such
I love
a beautiful song.
Yeah, I used to have to play that one as a kid.
Whiskey River, take it. So, but just to hear the. And in the solo, he does this really, really. He really sticks the major third at the end. Yeah. Which is just comes out like funny.
Yeah.
And even when he goes to the four chord, he goes C minor pentatonic blues for a minute, which is kind of feels very modal at that point. So I'm going to mention that one also as another solo we did. Well, Chris Masterson kind of what was my guess? I guess someone reminded me.
Is this back in the?
We did when the Fender Play Live. We did an Outlaw Country episode.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
And
I remember that
because I think the Mothership had On the Road Again.
Well, we had Mama Tried.
And we had Mama Tried. Okay, so
we had a couple actually.
The On the Road
I
Again.
think they're still on there.
The On the Road Again solo is one of my favorites because again, he's simply going to play the vocal melody.
Yeah.
Always a really good place to start with your guitar solo. But of course, he can't help but Django out a little bit. Go from it.
So I didn't know that was an influence for him.
Around the major third.
Yeah.
That is so Django.
I didn't know he was a Django Reinhardt fan.
Django Reinhardt is a big, big thing. That's where a lot.
Really?
That's where that phrase is.
Did he ever play a gypsy guitar?
No, Willie just kind of does his.
Just it's
just a sprinkling thing on there. But when you analyze Willie's soloing, when you see how he works around the major third,
there's that influence.
That's where you get
right.
You know.
That's the gypsy.
Also, but and
influence.
he would do that.
Right.
He's playing the nylon string guitar with a flat pick.
Right. Yeah, which is already super unconventional. By
not
the way,
supposed to happen. I told the story at the time about about Trigger. Maybe everyone knows the story, but what's funny is we still occasionally play this venue. It's just outside of San Antonio in Jolotes, Texas, and it's called Floor's Country Store, and it's been there for a very long time. It's an outdoor venue, and but Willie was playing there in '69, doing probably 2 shows, sort of thing. And Willie at the time had a sponsorship with Baldwin. Baldwin's trying to get into the guitar market. Baldwin pianos and organs.
Yeah.
So he had a deal. So he had a very like an ES 335-ish Baldwin guitar, and two Baldwin solid state amps.
I've seen Baldwin guitars and amps before.
So that's what Willie had. And so in between shows, the guitar is standing on stage. Somebody somehow steps on it and just crushes this thing.
On the guitar?
Oh yeah, the guitar's just in pieces. So, but there was the last show of the run, and then Willie had to go back to Austin. So a couple of his band members take the pieces of this Baldwin. They had to go up to Nashville.
Yeah.
They went to Gruen and said, "Can you fix this?"
Yeah.
He's like,
why?
So I could take the pickup out and throw it on something.
Yeah. There we go.
And so he looks around, and I don't know why this guitar was suggested. There was a brand new Martin nylon string guitar up there,
Which is they
were not known for making nylon string.
Yeah.
But I think it was like, for, I don't know, it was like $700 with the pickup mounted, So they had to call Willie long distance and just say, well, he can't fix it, but he can put it on another guitar and for this much money. And Willie just says, yes, sight unseen. And they just show up and here's your new guitar.
That'll be fine.
No, okay. So the guitar has changed radically from a standard electric guitar.
I guess my career's changing now.
So Willie just doesn't change how he plays at all. He just keeps playing minor pentatonic blues with a pick, even though the guitar isn't.
Even though the guitar doesn't bend really. And
so when we talk about the artist can only do it one way.
I know.
Here we are.
Exactly it.
Willie's solo on Angel Flying Too Close to the Ground is another great example of listen to that one and how the phrasing is very, very jazz. Again, another great one where he really adheres to the melody, the vocal melody, but it definitely feels like a guitar solo.
And it's what it feels like to me when I hear that is somebody who's not trying too hard. Like you could hear the impromptu nature in his playing in the recordings.
Oh, sure.
And that's something that's really attractive.
I don't think you could get him to play something the same way.
Do you see what I mean?
He never sings anything the same way twice.
That's a really attractive. And there's something quasi metaphysical about that, about people who aren't going to constantly try to do something like an Apple Store.
It was like the universe is not going to predict this.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
One of my favorite things about Silver Wings, let's see, the record, I've always, I think it's kind of pitched in between E and F, if I'm not mistaken.
Like a very speed.
It's pretty. I hear it in F, but it's always easier to perform in E. And there's in the little little bridge, don't leave me, I tried, don't take that airplane ride. There's a little chromatic. You feel the whole thing just sag and then go back up. And it's such a pretty little move. Well, it's like the whole thing does it.
Yeah. The whole song does it.
It's not just like the root goes down.
Yeah, the whole chord.
It just does this thing, and it's so hip. It is very, very, very hip. Fifth. So now I want to.
This one's a stadium
something
rock.
Out of the 70s.
Outlaw song.
And we're going mid 80s here. Late 80s actually. One of my favorite songs of all time. I'm thinking Copperhead Road by Steve Earle.
This is one of your favorite songs of all time?
Just love this song.
No way.
This thing just kills me.
I would have think this is too stadium for you.
Well,
I'm impressed.
It was great because this was Steve Earle was kind of doing stadium rock out of Nashville a few years before Garth Brooks came along, kind of really perfected the thing. But the thing about this song is, and of course, it starts with the bagpipes playing this main motif, but it's in the key of D. So as you know, bagpipes are built in B flat. They
don't do D.
They don't do D. So it's
don't do D.
It's a synthesizer a sample. And then eventually we hear acoustic guitars and mandolins, and then the electric guitars come in, and it's what I call it's very similar to like a Norwegian wood, and it's in D, but I love guitar riffs that are all played in just this one open position, but you get the whole melody. I guess I did.
Copperhead Road.
And then the lyrics, it's great. I mean, it's about outlaws, like a family tradition, and to borrow a phrase from Hank Williams Jr. Connecting moonshine runners to Vietnam,
to copperhead snakes.
But what's cool about this riff, it's got this drone, the way it pedals or drones.
Right.
So then, in terms of just scale tones, we got the fifth, the fourth, fifth, sixth, flat seven. So this also kind of gives the feeling of like old Celtic or Scots-Irish tradition.
Yeah.
Which is probably like hinting at the lyrics here of just, we've always been the outsiders. We've never been allowed to play the legit game, and this is what we've resorted to. Where when he gets his draft notice, he says, something about they draft the white trash around here first anyway. It's just like these are people who've never really had the biggest options,
right?
And so they took the life given and ran hard with it. So Copperhead Road, if you don't know that, and then funny because the song comes out in the '80s, but it wasn't till fairly recently it's become a huge line dance. It wasn't always that.
Really?
That's very new. I remember.
Do they have 4 on the floor against it, or are they just normal?
No, they just use Steve Earle's recording Copperhead Road. There's a very particular line dance written to it. But at the time, in the early '90s, when I was first playing the country clubs, the bars, the band I was in, we would do this song. Now it wasn't being played on the radio. It's not as though it was a massive hit. We just loved the song so much, and people could two-step to it. And it was to our and I mean, people tolerated us doing this song, I guess.
Yeah.
And I mentioned this not to name drop, but we did a tour with Steve Earle some years ago, and I remember telling him once, I said, in between 1992 and '93, I was in a band that we were doing Copperhead Road in the clubs, but it was before the line dance, before it was like this massive thing, and he kind of goes, 92 to 90s. I was homeless then.
Was he really?
Oh, yeah, he had a terrible drug problem. He was in and out of prison. He was as down and out as you could get. And we were playing the bar, and now it's just this big line dance number. So you just never know with a song. Hi, welcome, Bruce.
Hey, Bruce. Did he have several other hits besides this? Because I don't think I know of another song.
Oh, he has several great songs. One of his first hits was Guitar Town.
Huh.
Oh, I have to be tuned down to do it. But fantastic songs. My Old Friend the Blues is a classic, but I think Copperhead Road might go down as his most well-known song. Yeah, certainly now in this century, now that there's a huge line dance, and you hear it and the DJs play it in clubs all the time.
Is he still touring now?
Yeah, a bit.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Our friends, the Mastersons, were in his band for years.
I didn't know that.
Chris and Eleanor, yeah.
I did not know that.
Yeah. Steve Earle out there. So those are the 5 songs.
Wow.
That's 5.
Well, those are
that
good.
Was just, thank you. Just my.
I think those are great.
Let me say, outlaw, country, but like a guitar-oriented way of looking at it. And of course, there's if you want more, Billy Joe Shaver did a version of "I've Been to Georgia on a Fast Train," and his son Eddie plays. Imagine hot country licks, but on a Strat through a Marshall. Or just listen to the record. You don't have to imagine, because that's what Eddie's doing, and it's just blazing cool.
Yeah,
to hear this tone and kind of traditional hot country licks at the same time, very, very cool. And Billy Joe Shaver for sure, outlaw.
Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah.
Kind of crazy in that really, really good way. So that's what I got for you guys.
There's the outlaw country, folks.
Go get yourself a phaser pedal.
Phasers and bagpipes.
Get real wailing out on.
Sometimes a real pipe here every now and
then. Ah, yeah. We'll see you around. You're out of town next week, right?